Devon Larratt and Vitaly laletin needs to happen.
In the sport of arm wrestling, something we can see that is very noticeable is the existence of dream matches, of matches that would be pretty interesting, but that never taken place. Being one example of Levan Saginashvili versus Denis cyplenkov. You know, this match was even scheduled to happen, but strangely enough, Denis unfortunately got sick around that time and just couldn't compete. In another dream match we didn't had was Devon versus Vitaly. And it's funny because despite both of them being ready and willing to fight, their path never crossed. Like, there was no reason for them to face each other. For an example, there was never a reason for Devon to face Ermes for the super heavyweight title. Actually, last year Devon was meant to rematch Gennady, but as we know, Gennady blew his bicep. Then Morozov was put instead, but Morozov himself got stomach issues and couldn't compete as well. So then, we were given the match of Devon versus Ermes, which seemed at first super interesting, but still due to what Ermes did to Levan, everybody thought this would be a very hard match to Devon, but it wasn't really. And the same with Vitaly. Like, people think that Devon is running away from Vitaly all that time, but just recently addressed that. Take a look.
And for sure that match is coming, like it's inevitable. You know, people give me a lot of crap about it. We've had many times where we should do it, but I never understand why Vitaly loses ever, you know? Like when he lost to Dave, I was like, what was that? Like, what was that? How did Dave Chafee beat Vitaly Laletin?
I mean, he didn't.
He didn't, or did he?
I mean, he did he? Come on.
But it shouldn't even have been that close.
Hell.
Still, it was that close. And then he lost to Ermes, you know, and everybody just is automatically somehow placing Vitaly. And I don't disagree with it. That's the thing. We all know how awesome Vitaly is, yet he's got these kind of losses that means that he hasn't pulled Levan yet. I think that ever since we knew about Vitaly, I think that everybody sees his potential as, you know, really he's the guy who everybody thinks can potentially beat Levan, the highest potential.
I think
he's just another European that I'm going to eventually have to pull. And I think it's a good matchup for me. A lot of people say it's a bad matchup for me. I actually think it's a good matchup for me.